I kind of wanted our next guest to actually hear those interviews because he's in the throes of it right now. His name is Dr. Andrew Fox. He is a former Austin, Texas Fire Department chaplain, and he wrote a blog post explaining why he believes males should not compete in female sports, and they fired him. He's a chaplain. That seems like freedom of speech and religion, but maybe that's just me. Dr. Andrew Fox, welcome to the program.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me on.
You bet. Your accent does not sound Texan. Where are you from?
No, I was an immigrant from the United Kingdom, 1999, and now a citizen with my family.
Wow. And you came here why?
Religious workers visa. I came to be a pastor in Washington State, and so the die was cast. That's who I am, and that's what I'm known for.
So, when you came here, it was a different country than it is now.
Oh, my goodness. 23 years ago, the welcome to the United States to live here, work here, raise my family is now completely different in my mind 23 years later. Not the same country I moved to.
I'm sorry. So you were working for the fire department, and you were counseling families, and what else did you do for the fire department?
Well, the role of a chaplain is a resource for crisis, especially for those in uniform, men and women. I didn't care how they identified or who they associated with. It was inclusive to everyone in uniform. When you see death, be it a car accident or a fire or something else, and then you have to give death notices to those families. You're dealing with extreme situations that most people don't face regularly.
So when there's a knock on the door, I didn't know we did this. There's a knock on a door. It's not just a cop or a fireman. You're told by a chaplain.
Yeah, a chaplain is accompanied by law enforcement. But yeah, that walk from the sidewalk to the front door, you're about to change somebody's trajectory forever.
That must be horrible, that walk every time.
Well, as a Christian man, I live in the grace of God to say the right thing and do the right thing and be a support to that family, no matter what their beliefs are.
Okay, so you were writing on your own personal blog, correct?
Correct.
And what did you write? You wrote about women's sports.
I did. The blog is called Willie Woke and the Chocolate Factory, and I question biological men competing against women as a woman, that it was yet another attack on the beauty of what it is to be a woman. And I offered arguments from all sides, citing athletes that are heterosexual, not heterosexual, that identify differently. So a comprehensive view, not just a singular view. And I was fired for it.
What did they say to you?
Well, the fire chief, first of all, told me that it wasn't his business to censor me in a private blog. Weeks later, I met with the representative of LGBTQ to find out what offended them, and they couldn't tell me, but they were just offended, but they couldn't tell me what was wrong precisely. And shortly after that, I received a phone call telling me I was fired unless I wrote an open letter of apology for my Christian beliefs.
Good heavens, we've slipped into madness, just madness. So you probably, at least I hope, immediately called an attorney?
I did. I called several attorneys, and as soon as the city of Austin was mentioned, they backed off until one very, very old attorney, he recommended the Alliance Defending Freedom, who are, I wouldn't be where I'm at today without them. They are a stellar group of people.
They really are. We are close to them. They are really amazing people. So they took on the case, and where does it stand?
Right now, it is. The case is continuing to move forward. I believe next month we go into deposition, but still very much alive and kicking and gathering momentum on both sides, which again is not the country I moved to. It's a ridiculous situation that I find myself in.
I find it terrifying that you couldn't find an attorney to take that case quickly.
No. As soon as they found out the details, they backed off. And if it wasn't for the old boy that recommended Alliance Defending Freedom, I'd have my head in my hands. But I'm grateful for those who fight for freedom. It's opened my eyes to a bigger horizon. It
is. It's remarkable that I had the best freedom of speech attorneys in the country. A firm in Washington, D.C. That's what they were known for, and they have defended me in several cases. And at one point, about 3-4 years ago, we were in the middle of a case, and they said, "We can't take your case anymore." Hey, what are you talking about? And it was, they said, "We just have to kind of keep the peace in the firm," and but they were representing people like Google, and they just didn't want to have my name associated with their firm. And I said to them, "Are you kidding me? Is the spirit of John Adams completely dead now?" And it is. Yeah. It is. People, attorneys are afraid for their own career. And you got nothing. If you don't have a government that respects the Bill of Rights or attorneys that will stand for the Bill of Rights, you don't have a country of freedom anymore.
Right. And that's what I was asked. I was asked to write a letter of apology or I'd be fired. But when you move to another country, you put everything on the line. And I've been blessed in the work that I'm doing and that I've done. But I was not prepared to put my character, my beliefs on the line and sell them short. And so I refused. And I think we need more voices that stand up and say, no, I'm not going to do this.
That's why I wanted you on today. And I wanted to encourage you to continue to stand. And I'd be shocked if your case wasn't overturned here. Do you want to go back to the fire department?
I would like to be offered the position back, yes. I still have many, many, many friends in the fire department. There's 1,300 uniformed personnel. And again, I never asked about people's private lives. If they're wearing a badge and they need a chaplain, I serve them inclusively. And that need is still there. I get calls still from battalion chiefs, captains, lieutenants, asking me to come and visit their men and women, not at the fire station, because that's government property, but in their homes. So as a private citizen, I'm still in hospitals, homes, and different places, public places. The need is still there.
If you were living in England, you'd probably be facing the same thing over in England, and in Canada, you would as well. If this falls, where do you go?
I just got back from England, from lecturing over there, and you're absolutely right. What's happening here is happening there. Where do I go? Glenn, I can only say I can stand my ground. I'm a man of prayer. I'm a man of conviction. I didn't move to the United States to get a job. I had a job in England. I was also in public ministry there. I moved here to contribute. It's my contribution to the country that welcomed me in, and I still want to contribute. And for me, that is the United States of America. It's that opportunity. And when a government agency does this to you in such a short time, 23 years, it's wrong. I have no other words for it. It's wrong, and it needs to change.
Dr. Andrew Fox, thank you so much. And I guess we've had Ryan on the phone the whole time. I didn't know this. Ryan Bangert, I'm sorry I didn't get to you. But Ryan is with the Alliance Defending Freedom. Ryan, what can we do to help?
Hey, Glenn. The best thing you can do is go to adflegal.org, which is our website. We have profiles of all of our cases, including Dr. Fox's case, where we're fighting for his right to believe and his right not to be coerced by the government to accept government orthodoxy. So all of our cases are there. adflegal.org, best place to access all of our resources.
adflegal.org. You might want to write that down. You might also want to contribute now because you might need that at some point. adflegal.org. I appreciate all of the hard work that you guys do and the cases you do take on. This seems, Ryan, to be a pretty open and shut case. Or have we really fallen even further than I thought we have?
Well, you would think, Glenn, it is an open and shut case. This is a situation where the government, in this case the city of Austin, is telling a citizen what to believe, how to think. The shocking thing about this case is the government demanded that Dr. Fox apologize for believing Christian orthodoxy and publishing that on his own private blog. And that was the condition of him keeping his job. And if the government can force Dr. Fox to do that, it can force anyone to do that. And that's why this case is so important. If the government can strip one citizen of their right under the First Amendment to believe and speak as they will, then no one is safe. And so this case is tremendously important for that reason.
Ryan Bangert, thank you so much. Dr. Andrew Fox, thank you. We'll be watching this as it develops. Sincerely, you might want to contribute because you might be on the receiving end of this at some point. And sincerely, write this down because you may need them at some point. Dr. Fox said, I called attorneys. I didn't know who to call. You call adflegal.org. Go there now. Help them see all of their cases. adflegal.org.